Hello, my name is Sarah Lockard, and I'm currently enrolled in the Master of Education in Special Education program at Grand Canyon University. In this video, I'm going to be talking about professional disposition in special education and the roles that educators play in learning, improving, planning, and practice, as well as the importance of professional discourse and collaborative culture in education. I will then discuss the professional dispositions that I am strong in and ones that I need to improve upon before I start my teaching. And then I will finally talk about bias in special education and the dangers it poses. Educators play a vital role in facilitating learning. Providing an accommodative and inclusive environment for everybody, regardless of gender, ethnicity, religion, culture, or stage of development, is crucial to facilitate learning. Creating a low-stress environment is also key because when students are feeling relaxed, I have found that they are much more confident and they can achieve their academic deadlines and goals much easier. Thus, planning your lessons beforehand and making sure that you are ready to go every day really impacts the environment of your classroom. Students can tell when you are not prepared, and they will be more likely to take advantage of you by using your class time ineffectively, using their phones, their computers, or talking to classmates. Also, being unprepared can create anxiety for some students, which also hinders the effectiveness of teaching. Improving students' performance both academically and in many cases behaviorally is very important and something that should be individualized to every student. And thus it is the educator's responsibility to individualize their improvement plans and provide resources for each student so they are able to obtain their goals if they so choose. As for upholding professionalism and ethical practices in a classroom, I think that it is imperative, especially in special education, that the teacher act in a way that maintains confidentiality for all students and also encourages the students to be professional. Being mindful of the language you use and how you interact with your students and coworkers around other students is very important. I have found that it is too easy to slip into a casual conversation with a coworker in front of students and say a name or some confidential information which breaches ethics. Now, I'm going to talk about the different dispositions that exist in education and the ones that I am strongest in. My strongest dispositional asset is definitely respect for diversity on all counts, including gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, cultural and religious beliefs, ethnicity, and racial diversity. I feel that diversity is essential to any community, especially schools, and one thing that I try to do is encourage individuality and unhindered expression. I think that this will make me an effective teacher because I will never discriminate against or judge my students for being who they are. Another disposition I hold in the highest regard is academic honesty. I have no tolerance for plagiarism, cheating, or cutting corners, and I hold myself to these standards, and I expect my students to have the same standards, and hopefully this will inspire my students to understand the importance of such behavior. Some of the dispositions I tend to struggle with are punctuality, which falls under dedication. Although I would describe myself as dedicated and passionate about what I do, I've always struggled with deadlines, punctuality, and consistent attendance for medical reasons, and so I hope to work on these and take care of myself and learn strategies that will help me to be a more effective teacher. Now I am going to talk about biases in special education. Biases really shouldn't have any place in education because they can change the educator's opinion on certain students and also what they expect for certain students. I had an experience, I work with a young Hispanic boy, and he speaks English as a second language. And when I first started working with him, I held him to a lower standard because I didn't think that as an ESL student, he could accomplish the same things in English. And I found that to be quite inaccurate. He's very bright, and he has the ability to do what all the other students can do. So instead of holding him to a lower standard and just accepting what he did, I started to help him reach his potential. And that taught me that biases are very dangerous in education. They can impact your relationship with the student. They can mistrust you, think that you don't care about them, and it can also affect the dynamics between parental collaboration with teachers. That's why it's so important for biases to not exist or to not be present in education at all. And this concludes my video. I hope you enjoyed, and I enjoyed making it for you.